Hey there, Aiden. How you doing? Hope you're having fun in the jungles of wherever you happen to be right now. Cool. So it sounds like a kind of exciting Thanksgiving got lined up there. I've been working here on figuring out a rain song for you, and in working out the next parts of the song. It sounded like the tuning was the big thing last time. Yeah. So you want to make sure the tuning's accurate for these auto-tune ones, because when you hit the open strings, it's kind of like you're hitting a chord. This one's a pretty one. So to go through the strings just one more time, I tuned it a few minutes ago, so hopefully it's still holding tune. But 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 is how I'm tuned right now. It's the same tuning as we did last time. Cool. Two things I want to go over today. The second one's a big one. So first one is the roll chord. I would love to play the song for you in the video, but I think YouTube, if they even hear like a note of Zeppelin anywhere on YouTube that's not being paid for somehow, they will shut that down very quickly. So I imagine you have a recording next to you, so that sound that you hear in the beginning of the song, that right there, what he's doing there. Let me show you what he's doing. I think he actually, Jimmy Page might be playing fingerstyle for this one. I'll show you with a pick, and if you want to, I can show you kind of how to play with your fingers next time if you want to do this kind of roll thing here. Let me get a pick. So what you'll do is you simply just roll the chord backwards. It's kind of like almost like a harp sound. You'll just take your pick and just place it on the first string and just roll it. You're trying to get that sound. So usually we want like a one sound, but for this one you want to kind of roll through it. So it's the very first chord of the tune. It's the 7-0-7-0. I can't remember the name of the chord. I think in the book they call it G5, but in the author tuning I don't think it really matters too much what it's called. It's pretty sound. So you do that 7-0-7, and you'll start with the song by taking your pick and rolling it back through. For songs like this, all the devil's in the details in terms of if you want to sound like you're recording, all these little things kind of add up. I mean, because you could easily just play. But it doesn't have that same. So what I'm doing there. Oh, by the way, the symbol for a roll, if you ever come across, is this right here. It says squiggly line right there. If you see that, and this is like a down, this is a up strum. Okay, so if you up strum, sometimes you'll see that, sometimes you won't. But you see a squiggly line, that means they want you to roll the chord. You're supposed to just pass it through and let some like that. So what you'll do, you just take your pick, and when you get to that, fourth string. See, I didn't play the fifth string right there. My pick landed it. I turn it around and then hit it, so it's seamless. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I was like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then hit that bass string. It takes a little bit of practice to kind of make it flow, right? But in the beginning, what I would do is it was slow. Same thing right there. The next one, the 6, it's this one here in the tab. I'll send it to you, so you'll have it next to you. See the 6 right here after the 7s? He rolls that one too. So what you'll do is you'll roll first one after you practice doing this. But your pick, feel each one fall through to the next string. When you get to this one, you just turn your pick around. I guess the more I think about it, that might work too. Two ways you can do it, now that I figured it out, is... that's too far. So one way that you might want to, because I change my mind all the time on how I play things, is that when you slide your pick through, you can just slide through and just use that 6th string as a stop. careful on that one. So that might be one way to approach it. Is doing the roll back, and then use stop there, and then turn your pick around. What was it again? That was it. Right. So for those rolls, I changed my mind halfway through the video, and how I'm going to teach it is you roll it backwards, and then you bring it and stop on the 6th string. So the 6th string acts as a stop there, right? Cool. All right. Next thing is the next set of chords. I've written them down here in part 2, right here. So first thing I would do is I would get the shape underneath my fingers. The first one is a bar at the 3rd fret, right? Then what happens? He moves that down to 2. So 3, 2. He doesn't hit that 1st string, so I use that 1st string as a stop there. So, and then that's it. So where's it go? We can talk about that part for a while. Anyway, maybe if I have time tonight, I'll talk about that. Anyway, so it goes 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 5, 2. So 3. Well, so the 3 you're gonna hit 4 times. First one rings out. 1, 2. So first one, 2, 3, 4. Bass, 5th string bass. 2, down to 2. And then while you're down here, take your ring finger and put that on the 3rd fret, 4th fret, 3rd string. It goes 2, 3, 4, off. So that last part there, the 2 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. And that off allows you to get up to the next part, which is the cool part, I think, like the highlight of this section, is 11, 0, 11. So it's the same shape that we had at the beginning. He's just moved up here to 11. So 11, 9, 12, 11. Oops, I forgot to put the 12 in there. Sorry. 0, 12, 0, 12. Sorry about that. Almost ruined the whole thing. So far we have 3, 1, 2, 3, bass, bass, 2, and then the ring finger goes down. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. And then off allows you to get here to 11. 11, 9, 12, 11, 4. And what he's going to need out here at 4, you see I have 2 diagonal lines shooting off that 4. What that means is that slides up to 9, but you don't hit it. So you hit that 4, and you slide. 4, slide. Like I said before, with the Zeppelin tunes, the devil's in the details. You gotta get these little articulations down to make it sound just like the song. Because I think, Jimmy Page, this was his baby, his project, Led Zeppelin, and it's all mapped out. He got down to like the microphone placements on like where the drums, like really into the details. So I think things like this were completely planned out. The solos not so much, but I think the acoustic parts, they're pretty well mapped out. So 1, 2, 3, bass, bass, 2. Then open 11, 9, 12, 11, 4, and then 9, 9. And then you're going to repeat that. 11, 9, 12, 11, 4. And just a quick aside, what I like to do with Zeppelin tunes is I like to mess with them. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll go, okay, these chord shapes that Jimmy Page came up with these alto tunes, they sound really neat. So what I like to do is I go, okay, he did 7. did 6. And then he did 5, that 5/4 figure, that 5. So I go, okay, 7, 6, 5, and then he did 9. And then he did 11. And then he did 12. And then he did 11. And then he went down to 4. And then he went up to 9. So I kind of like remember in my head like where he kind of like jumped to with just that one chord shape. Right? So there's a movable chord shape up and down the neck, and it sounds kind of nice all over. So what I like to do is just stuff like this. I'll take those shapes, and I'll just kind of mess with them, move them around a little bit, to kind of improvise with the song a little bit. So I might go. Open too, right? And I just move it all over the place. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. I'm just going to improvise a little bit. Anyway, to in conclusion with that, my friend called my psychedelic musings, I'll take the chord shapes that I find in tunes like this and just experiment with them. You can't really go wrong. It's a beautiful open tuning, and the kind of cool thing about learning Zeppelin songs is that you can take these shapes that he has, that the names, that it doesn't matter, and you can take them, you can kind of just move them around and just have fun with them. So obviously learn the song like note for note, but then if you want to like experiment in the style of Jimmy Page in altered tunings, take the chord shapes that you find in these and just mix and match them. They can do whatever order you want. Cool, man. I'd love to hear if you come up with something kind of neat about that. If you record yourself doing that, I'd love to hear it. Feel free to shoot me back a message if you have any questions about this, or if you just want to kind of chat about kind of what I talked about today. All right, cool, man. Have fun where you are. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'm not in the studio next week, but I'll see you the following, okay? All right, man, take care.